Families stand in their doorways, watching the orange glow advance, making desperate calculations. What do you take when you can only take what you can carry? Your money, your deed to the house, the family Bible, the children, and the cart, if you can find one. If you can't afford the price that opportunistic drivers are now charging, is loaded and driven to a friend's house farther west, only for the friend's house too to be in the fire's path, and everything must be loaded again. Samuel Pepys buries his wine and his important papers in the garden, and, most famously, a large wheel of Parmesan cheese, which he is determined to save at all costs. By the third day, people all over the city are digging pits in gardens, holes under floors, anywhere that might protect valuables from the heat. The River Thames is thick, with boats piled so high with possessions that some sit dangerously low in the water, and on the roads leading out of the city, to the north, to the open fields of Moorfields, and beyond, a great ragged procession of the displaced is forming, carrying what it can, setting it down in the open air, and collapsing around it in exhaustion. On the evening of the third day, Pepys stands on the south bank of the river and looks north at his city, and the sky above London is the color of hell itself. The whole heaven, he writes, appears to be on fire. The wind is strong, carrying a shower of fire drops, burning flakes of ash tumbling through the dark air, so that standing with your face turned into the gust is to stand in a storm of sparks. He can see the fire climbing the steeples, cracking them open. He weeps. He writes about weeping. It is one of the most human moments in all of the historical record. This competent, often self-serving man of affairs, standing helpless on the riverbank, watching his city dissolve in fire, and crying. The great Cathedral of St. Paul's falls on the night of the third day. The scaffolding around it, already there for repairs, provides a ladder for the flames to climb. The lead on the enormous roof begins to melt, running in streams down the walls and out into the streets, flowing like a river of liquid silver through the gutters of Ludgate Hill. The massive stones crack and explode with sounds like cannon fire, and then the roof collapses, the whole vast span of it, and St. Paul's is gone. The most recognizable building in London, the landmark sailors used to fix their position on the river, the place where Londoners had gathered to worship and grieve for generation after generation, reduced to a smoking shell, its columns standing naked against the burning sky. By the fourth day, there are rumors everywhere. Foreigners did this, some say. The French, the Dutch, England is at war with both, and what better way to destroy the capital than with fire? Catholics, others insist. The rumors run faster than the fire itself, mixing with panic and grief, and the human need in the face of incomprehensible disaster to find someone to blame. A French watchmaker named Robert Hubert confesses to having started the fire as part of a conspiracy. He is tried, convicted, and hanged at Tyburn in October. It will only emerge afterward that Hubert was almost certainly suffering from severe mental illness. His story changed repeatedly, and most damningly, he had been on a ship in the North Sea when the fire began, and had not even arrived in London until 2 days after it started. But the rage needed somewhere to go. The fire is stopped, in the end, by a combination of desperate human effort and the mercy of the wind. On the third night, soldiers and citizens managed to demolish enough buildings ahead of the eastern edge of the fire to create a break it cannot cross. The Navy brings gunpowder, and buildings are blown apart in great booming explosions that send masonry raining down on the streets. The strategy works. And then, sometime in the small hours of Wednesday, the 5th of September, the wind falters, just a slight easing, a small mercy from a sky that has been pitiless for 4 days. Slowly, reluctantly, the fire begins to die. By Thursday, the 6th of September, it is out. The ground remains too hot to walk on for days. But the burning has stopped. What London looks like in its aftermath is almost beyond description. More than 13,000 houses are gone, 87 parish churches, including the Great St. Paul's, have been destroyed. The Royal Exchange, the Guildhall, 52 livery company halls, countless smaller landmarks, all reduced to blackened shells and drifts of ash. Roughly 100,000 people are homeless, sleeping in open fields north of the city, in makeshift camps,
The heavy smell of
in
smoke
barns in
hanging
the
over
surrounding
city
countryside.
Like a thick, gray
The
fog
smell
for
of smoke
weeks.
hangs over London for weeks. Some estimates suggest the fire destroyed 86% of the old city within the walls. It is not simply a disaster. It is an erasure. And yet, there is something else that happens in the aftermath, something harder to measure but no less real. King Charles II rides through the devastated streets within days, distributing money with his own hands. He orders bread brought in for the homeless. Parliament establishes a special fire court, a tribunal to resolve disputes between landlords and tenants, delivering verdicts within a single day so that rebuilding can begin without the usual delays of the law. Thousands of cases are heard. London does not collapse into chaos. It does not descend into permanent mourning. Slowly, painfully, stubbornly, it gets up. The rebuilding of London in the years that follow is one of the great acts of collective will in human history. Sir Christopher Wren is given the task of designing a new St. Paul's Cathedral, and what he builds is a marvel that still stands today, its great dome rising above the skyline. A building that seems to say, "We were here before, and we are here again." Wren rebuilds 52 of the city's parish churches, each one a small masterpiece. And close to Pudding Lane, a great stone column is raised, 202 feet tall, designed so that if it toppled, it would fall exactly to the spot where the fire began. It is called, simply, the Monument. It is still there today. The new London that rises from the ashes is, in many ways, a better city than the one that burned. New regulations require brick and stone in place of timber. Streets are made wider. Overhanging jetties are forbidden. The cramped, disease-ridden warrens that had helped the plague spread so efficiently are swept away. And for the first time, real fire insurance begins to emerge. The disaster of 1666, giving birth to an industry that will become one of the pillars of the modern financial world. London does not become the grand Baroque city of Wren's most ambitious proposals, but it becomes something more livable, more durable, and in its quiet way, more hopeful than what came before.